All right, here we are. Prop the mic. PTM. It's your boys, Dave and Tom, coming to you with some picks for tonight's 6-game NBA slate. Only a couple more slates until we take a little hiatus for the All-Star break. So we got to get them in while we can here. As always, today's podcast is presented by Props.Cash. We 100% could not do what we do without Props.Cash. So if you think you're ready to level up your prop betting game, use code PTM at signup to get 25% off your first month. Everyone remember, all today's podcast picks will be posted in our VIP Discord immediately following the pod. What's up on a snowy day, a school's out snow day in New York, Dave, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just finished making a snowman, got in a nice little snowball fight, which I lost. It's all good, man.
Nice.
I'm enjoying your raspy voice today. What's that all about?
I don't know. I got
a little sickness, huh?
Little cold, yeah, something. Maybe it's just too much excitement from the Super Bowl, maybe.
Yeah. Now that you're a Chiefs fan, so
you're welcome.
Yeah, so Tom and I were chatting a little bit about the NBA. The NBA has been like kind of rough over the last couple of weeks. Like all the trends that we're holding for weeks, months are like starting to break. So we have a theory that guys it's kind of like those last week or two when you're at work and you're going into like the Christmas break and you know that you're going to have, extended time off.
You're mentally checked out.
Mentally check out. You people stop like working as hard. Maybe they call out sick. So I think we're seeing a little bit of that in the NBA right now. Guys are like on cruise control as they enter the All-Star break. But we only got a couple more days, so let's try to win some money.
And you also have rotations changing with trades and whatnot, right? Yes. So that's another element that's screwing things up a little bit. We're not making excuses, just
just observation. So I guess what that means in terms of action. Play cautiously over the next couple days. Let's try to win some money, but let's know that post All-Star break is where we're going to start to really ramp things up and kind of do what we did last season, which is just crush as every week as we got closer and closer to the playoffs. And in the playoffs, we just went exponential. Yeah. So let's start with today. We got the Celtics at the Nets. The Nets are plus 8.5 at home. Total is 227 in this game. What are you feeling here?
All right, I got one play on either side, both rebound plays here. We spoke a little bit earlier. We were both, there he is right there. We were both feeling Jason Tatum. You were able to get, I don't know where his line is now.
8.5. Minus 130.
That is beautiful. It was, we got it at minus 140 earlier. So even better, come down a little bit. So you're not paying as much juice. 6 straight games against Brooklyn. He's cleared this line. 6 of his last 10 overall, 3 straight, as you could see. Nice matchup against Brooklyn. They've allowed the 4th most rebounds per minute over the last month. LeBron had 11, Kuminga 10, Markkanen 9, Cam Whitmore 9, Julius Randle 9, Jeremy Grant 8, which is good for him. And just to point out, he's really more of a wing, but Jalen Green 2 weeks ago had 10 rebounds against Brooklyn. I think it's a great spot for Tatum. What do you think?
Yeah, this is actually what I'm finding is the first play of the day that comes to my mind. Yesterday it was Daniel Gafford, right? The first play that pops out, because the first thing I do in the morning after I load up all of our data and I refresh and I pull up props.cash is I kind of look at who's the first player that pops out. And yesterday was Daniel Gafford. He crushed, right? He almost cleared his line in the first quarter. Today it was Tatum. This is the first player that I saw. So when we were talking about our picks, I was actually really happy that you also were on this one. So what was bothering me is that it was creeping up to 9.5. But it's there's some downward movement on it. I don't think he's going to put up 13 or even 11 rebounds. I think he's good for 9, maybe 10 today. So I don't think this one will be a home run in terms of third quarter cash. But I do think he's in a good spot for 9.
Nice.
All right. And who did you have on the net side?
Oh, man. It's been a while since we played this guy.
Yes.
Ben Simmons.
Let's do it.
Simmons. Are we going to do it?
Yeah, why not? I mean.
All right. Here we go. 6.5 rebounds. Minus 106 on FanDuel. He's done this in 3 of 5 since returning. Don't even look at those games. He's playing 30 minutes in the beginning of the season. So you got to kind of throw those games out. He's only playing 20 minutes a game now.
Yeah, he's really been back for 5 games. So let's just look at
so
that sample.
3 for 5 since he came back, off to a nice start. So I think he's due for a nice little bounce back here. And he's got a great matchup to do it in. So he's a weird guy on how you classify him, right? But regardless of where you classify him, he's in a good matchup. Over the last month, Boston's allowed the 2nd most rebounds to point guards, 3rd most rebounds to combo guards, and 7th most rebounds to wings. So wherever you look at Ben Simmons, he's got a good matchup against Boston here. I think this line is very nice for him. I could see him going back to that 8-9 that we saw in those first few games back here. I think he could do that.
Yeah, I mean the minutes are troubling, right? Because he seems to be capped right around 20, 21 minutes. These first couple games back where he played 18 and 13 minutes, right? And put up 8 and 9 rebounds. I mean, that's crazy efficiency, rebounding. And those are, Philly, Dallas, those are pretty bad teams in terms of rebounding against bigs.
Utah as well, yeah.
Utah as well, yeah. So then Cleveland, who actually is not very good at rebound. I consider Ben Simmons, even though he's point guard / actually, and today he might. I don't know what their starting lineup is. I didn't look at that, but he might be sliding more into a power forward position.
He will, because I think I see Dennis Smith out here,
and Schroeder.
Yeah, I don't know, and Schroeder too. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, so let me just pull that up real quick because I think that's a relevant point, right? If he's down low more and yeah,
and
so
the Nets are looking to win games here. Like they're making a little playoff push. They'd like to make. They don't have any reason to tank. They don't have they're not going to get any good picks if they the more poorly they finish. So it's in their interest to try to be competitive and make the playoffs.
They're kind of floating in purgatory right now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like not a bad team, but they're also not a good team. So no, they have them starting at point guard on Roto. So
that's like a default.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. So anyway, I like it, I think, but I'm scared. I'm scared of Simmons. So
it's always scary with Ben Simmons. Come on.
But 6.5, it's all it's almost like if you're gonna play him at 6.5, you might as well play him at 8. So he's either gonna put up 1 or 3 or 8, right? Like that's gonna go. All right, cool. Good matchup. I like that. Hopefully that game stays competitive. Let's go on to the next one. We got the Thunder at the Magic. This one is the TNT game. So this is fun. I really like this matchup. 2 young teams, 2 defensively sound teams. Total is 223.5 in this game. Magic are favored -2.5. So, I wouldn't go crazy with too many overs in this one, just because I do think this could be a defensive oriented game. But let's hear what you got.
All right. Let's start on the Magic side. I liked Wendell Carter rebounds here. It's over 7.5 rebounds and getting plus money, plus 116 on FanDuel. Over the last month, OKC's allowed the 2nd most rebounds to bigs. 18 bigs have had 9+ rebounds against Oklahoma City in the last 4 weeks. Monster games. Jalen Duren, 21. Rudy Gobert twice had 18. Anthony Davis, 15. Aaron Gordon, 13. Jabari Walker, 13. Maxi Kleber, 12. Who else is on it? Nick Richards, 11. Karl Anthony Towns, 11. Walker Kessler, 11. Karl Anthony Towns, another game with 10. It's just, this is a home run right here. You have a few bigs to look at. It could also be a spot for Banchero. Mo Wagner doesn't play a ton of minutes. Also could be a spot for him. But I ended up on Wendell Carter here. I just love this matchup too much. I feel like this 8 rebounds for him should be no problem in this game.
Yeah, again, he's a guy who hasn't had a great trend of late. He's also a guy who gets in a lot of foul trouble, but
the foul troubles.
But those are tough matchups, right? If you look, he was up against Vooch. Surprised he didn't have a better performance in Chicago, right? Against his old team. Wemby, Bam, and Detroit's got Jalen Duren. So those are some tough matchups for him to get rebounds of late. So I think this is a good play. I was leaning. I don't know. I was also looking at Banchero.
I looked at Banchero too.
again, he's he's not. Is that right? He really has put up 1 rebound in the last.
No,
couple
that
games?
can't be right.
But yeah, I just think I think Wendell Carter is inconsistent, but I do think this is a good matchup for him. They just picked up the Thunder also picked up Biyombo. I just checked to see if he is playing today, but he's not available until after the All-Star break. So I do think once Biyombo gets in the rotation, I actually think their issues around rebounding are gonna diminish a bit if they actually get him into the rotation. So
yeah, nice. I actually see that Carter's actually come down. You can get him on FanDuel now, 6.5 rebounds for -140. So if you want to pay a little juice and feel a little bit safer, that could be a play there.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that must have just flipped. Okay, all right, cool. I would recommend that. I think that would be a better play in this one. All right, what anything on the Thunder side or Magic?
Yeah, I like SGA assists here, over 6.5 assists, -108 on FanDuel. He's done this in 6 of his last 10, averaging 7.5, 4 of his last 5, averaging 8.5. Orlando has allowed the 3rd most assists per minute to point guards over the last month. SGA had 7 assists against Orlando on January 13th. That's outside that's just outside our last month, so that's not even factored into that ranking there. He played 36 minutes in that game, right? With this game's got a 2.5 point spread, like you said. So I think he's probably in store for another big minute output here in a competitive game. When he's played 36 minutes, he's cleared in 10 of his last 11 games.
Yeah, that's
look at that.
That's nice. Yeah. And I feel like he's been scoring less of late too, right? If you look at his last 10 games, right? Look at his scoring. Scoring's been down a little bit, especially in the last 5, 31, 23, 28, 25, 38. So this kind of stretch right here might be him more facilitating. So
this is a bad matchup for scoring wise. They're going to stick Jalen Suggs on him. They have a lot of pieces Orlando can throw at him to limit his, what he can do scoring wise. So I think that will open up some more. But that's 2 of those are last year.
And the Magic
30, so,
weren't really whole back then. Even a month
Carter
ago,
was still out then.
Exactly.
And just in terms of recent comps, Luka just had 15 against Orlando. Trey 12, Mike Conley 9, Trey Jones 8, Terry Rozier 7, Kate Cunningham 7. So some nice comps there. So I think that's what you could see is maybe he's forced to pass out of some double teams, some good defensive coverage by Suggs and whatnot. So
I think that's the best way to approach SGA today. I think going with his assist is a really nice one, and 6.5 is not a crazy number for him. So let's go with that. All right. Heat Bucks, big matchup, right? These guys have a long history against each other. The Bucks certainly owe them a little bit. Bucks are -8.5 at home. Total is 222.5. So again, not a super high scoring game.
No.
What do you like here?
I only got one guy I'm looking at in this game. It's Malik Beasley. Chris Middleton is out. He's got some nice numbers with Middleton out. Rebounds, over 3.5 rebounds, +100 on FanDuel. He's done this in 8 of 10 games without Middleton this season, averaging 4.5 rebounds per game, and gets a good matchup. Wings against Miami, 6th most rebounds per minute over the last month. So Beasley's got a nice matchup. Also like his points. So his points are 11.5. That's -111 on FanDuel. So the reason Middleton's out, it's a back-to-back. So I look at the last 4 back-to-backs he's played without Middleton. Points, 21, 16, 8, that's the one down game, and then 23. So 3 of his last 4 games on a back-to-back that Middleton sat out, he cleared this line by quite a bit. And you also gets another good matchup. Wings versus Miami, 5th most points per minute over the last month. So that's nice as well. What do you think? You like Beasley here?
I do. I like the rebounds. I mean, the rebounds always pop up on our alt prop sheet as for him to get 3. So for him to get, 4?
4,
seems very doable. Miami's also pretty depleted in this game. I was looking at their lineup, right? Yeah, no Jimmy and no Rozier either. no Richardson, who's been out for a bit, and Duncan Robinson looks like he'll play, but he's a game time decision. So, yeah. So I think with the depleted lineup, I think that's even better. What do you like? Anything else in this game? Anything on the
No,
Miami
the
side?
only thing I just want to mention is obviously because I like the points and the rebounds, you can also do his 15.5 PR is plus 100. Really nice. And you've had against Miami in the last month, 15 different wings have scored 16 plus PR against Miami over the last month. Big game. Gary Trent, 30. Vince Williams Jr., 30. Cam Thomas, 25. I'm just pointing. Royce O'Neal, 24. Like just monster games. John Conchar, 21. Guys that you wouldn't expect. Josh Okogie, 18 PR. So I think it's a great spot. You could play him either way. Put them together for the PR plus money. Loving Beasley here.
Yeah, I think one other approach you could take with them as well, if you like both of those, but you've been burned over the last couple of weeks by blowouts or just like getting hooked, you could also probably take the points down to maybe 9 or 10 and put that with 3 rebounds.
3 rebounds. That's
I
nice.
think that's another way of approaching this too that would probably get you near plus money. So
yeah.
And 3 rebounds is 9 points is always nice for Beasley because that could be 3
threes. There we go.
All right. And so anything on the Heat side? I think maybe Jaquez could be in a good spot tonight, getting the start. I haven't really dug into him yet, but did he pop up on the model at all for you?
No, I didn't. I don't know. With the guys sitting out of Miami, I just I don't know, a little upheaval there. I just couldn't get behind anything. I looked at Jaquez. Trends weren't great.
Yeah, trends aren't great. He was like playing really well, but now his minutes are down.
He's like capped at 24, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
He was in those like closing rotations, but now since Rozier's been at it, I don't know. Look at his last 30 games. Look at that minute dip.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's not the way to go. So, yeah, he could have a good game, but you'd be bucking a trend here, which is probably not the way to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't do any analysis. This is purely a gut play, but Duncan Robinson, I just feel like I'm watching him play more and more of late, and he seems to be back to kind of the Duncan Robinson of old. So, so I'm gonna dig into him a little bit more. I didn't see his props out yet, but I do think he could, with the depleted lineup, he could be due for a big one tonight.
Yeah, that's a good look there. Yeah, I gotta definitely dig in to see him without Jimmy, and when I also Caleb Martin too. I think gets extra run, without Jimmy in there. He's another guy probably to look at.
Okay, all right, cool. Let's go to the second nationally televised game of the night. Kings at the Suns. I'm looking forward to this one. This one's gonna be the high-powered offense game. Suns are -5.5 at home. Total on this one is 245.5. So. Plenty of scoring. Who do you like here?
Let's go with the Kings point guard here, Mr. De'Aaron Fox, over 24.5 points, -111 on FanDuel. He's played 3 games against Phoenix this season. Had 33, 23, and 34 points. Interestingly to note, the 33 and the 34 were in Phoenix. They are in Phoenix tonight. Mm-hmm. Phoenix has allowed the 5th most points per minute to point guards over the last month. So great matchup. And then if you just look at the season, these are the comps for Fox. Steph, 30, Trey, 32, Luka, 34, Fox, 33, Luka, 50, Jalen Brunson, 50, Steph, 24, Brunson, 35, SGA, 35, Steph, 27. I mean, he's just due for a monster game here.
Yeah, you would think so. We were actually chatting about him in the Discord this morning because one of our members on the VIP side was asking about his threes. So 2.5 threes. And my initial gut was no, like De'Aaron Fox is not a 3 guy, but
no, he's amazing from 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. This is, what I came to find out. This is actually his best season in his career shooting threes. Mm-hmm. He's shooting over 37% threes when he's actually career wise a 33% shooter. So, and if you look, last 2 games in Phoenix, he had 6 threes and 4 threes. And if you even go back a little further, he had 4 that other time. So In
Yep.
a 245 point game, this could be another angle too. Fox 2.5 threes. I personally, if he's going to get 9 points from threes, he's probably going to get to 25 overall. So I do think giving yourself the flexibility to play the points is probably the smarter choice. But if you're more into threes, this could be another way to go.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on the on this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with your Blue Devil here, Mr. Grayson Allen.
It's about time you jumped on the Allen bandwagon here. All right, what do you like here?
So I like his PA, 13.5 PA, minus 115. He had 35 PA against Sacramento on January 16th.
Wow.
And the previous time they played, he got hooked for 13 in the prior meeting. Sacramento has allowed the third most points per minute and the third most assists per minute to wings over the last month. We've mentioned it. I mean, 3-point shooting is Allen's game. Who is the team to target 3-point shooting against? It's the Kings, right? He's also got nice trend on 2 days rest this season. 7 for 9 this season on 2 days rest, averaging 20.8 PA when he's on extra rest this season. So very nice.
Wow, look at that.
Yep. And this is what I like. 15 different wings, or not different, but 15 wings in 15 different games have over the last month have gone over 13.5 PA against Sacramento. Monster games to Jalen Williams, 41. I know you always like this. Ben Mathurin, 35. In another game, Ben Mathurin, 29. You had Malik Beasley, 28. Alec Burks, 27. And Karis LeVert, 24. Max Strus, 24. These are all 3-point shooters, right? Ayo, 23. Buddy Hield, back to 21 and 20. This is just awesome. All those wings, they averaged 3.3 made threes on 6.8 3-point attempts in those games.
Wow.
So I think this is a huge opportunity for Grayson Allen here. I love this spot.
Yeah. It's weird. He only
he had 9 threes in that last game.
Yeah, he had 9 threes. Yeah, that was like a career game for him. So certainly Sacramento is going to make adjustments. But the problem with making big adjustments on Grayson Allen is you're leaving open
Kevin
3
Durant.
of the top 20 players in the league.
Yes.
So you can't really make a lot of adjustments.
No.
And even Nurk can do some damage too. So he's really the 4th scoring option probably on that team.
Yeah.
And maybe the 5th. And
you're not usually adjusting for that guy.
You can't make that many adjustments, but I'm sure they're going to be more conscious of his 3-point shooting. But yeah, I mean, this is a very low line, and if you want to go for a repeat, maybe put him for 4 or 5 threes as well. That could
ladder it up. Let's go.
Good little ladder. So maybe we'll drop that one in the long shots in the Discord.
Nice.
All right, what else do we got here? Anything else?
That's it. That's it for this game.
What about Durant? I think Durant's in a pretty good matchup here, right? Did you look at him today?
I did. I just so he just got there those last couple games. I liked Booker too. His line's at 29.5. I mean, the total's so high in this game. They could probably all get there. I don't know.
Yeah, we put Durant as part of our alt builder of the day. That was one of the 4 legs that we had, just for 20 points. So I think
that's at 20. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great foundation for anything.
Yes.
But if you look even over his last, I believe, if I'm correct, his home away splits, averaging 28.3 overall in the season. And if you look at him, actually, he was better at home, right? He's 29.1 at home, and he's 27.5 away. So that would lend to probably an over on that 26.5. So if you're feeling Durant, I think this is a pretty good matchup for him, and he's hit this the last time they played as well. So.
But like you said, it gets tricky. Like, you mentioned this last week, I think, it's kind of how Boston's been over the last few years with Tatum and Brown. It's like, whose night is it going to be, right? It's like picking, is it going to be a Durant night? Is it going to be Booker? So that's what makes it a little complicated, a little tricky handicapping Phoenix these days. But yeah.
You want to know my prediction? My prediction is going to be both of their nights. This game's going to
Yeah, I
be
think so.
a shootout. So they
It's
can
gonna be
both go over.
fun game. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about a less fun game. This next game we're talking about has a total of 213 points. I haven't seen a total that low in a while. T-Wolves at the Blazers. Blazers are getting 8.5 at home. So Tom and I were looking at our DVP matchup sheet, cheat sheet that we put out each day, and the Timberwolves are just phenomenal on defense, like bottom 5, maybe bottom 7 in terms of opponents scoring at all positions. So they are just like shutting people down. Now they're going up against the Blazers, who are obviously have their shortcomings on offense. So that's why this game's at 213.5 with an 8.5 point spread, right? So that's a very rare thing that you see. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping you're not sailing on the over for too much here, but what do you like?
No. My only scoring over is on the old man, Mike Conley, over 9.5 points, plus 100 on DK. He's 3 for 3 this season on back-to-backs, 7 straight since last season on back-to-backs. I think the old man, he keeps things loose when he goes back-to-back. So I think that's what's going on here. He had 9 points against Portland on January 12th in only 20 minutes. So nice efficiency there. He is averaging 29 minutes per game over his last 10. So that was a bit of an outlier. Yeah. Those are those 3 back-to-backs this season. And then some nice comps for him. You don't want to look at point guards in general to see a good matchup when you're including Steph and SGA and comparing them to Mike Conley. So we got to look at guys who are in the same class as Mike Conley. Marcus Sasser, 17. Fred VanVleet, 18. Spencer Dinwiddie, 19. Trey Jones, 14. Tyus Jones, 24. Keontae George, 21, 16, and 15. That was back in December. Great matchup here for Conley.
Yeah, even Pat Bev put up 14. So
yeah, I didn't include Pat Bev.
There we go. I think Reggie Jackson at 13 is also a really good comp, right? These are all guys that are right in that range. The Sunmu at 11.5. He came up a little short at 11, but yeah, it seems like these guys are all scoring like a minimum of 7-8 points against the Blazers. So I think you can push over and get those extra 2. All right, very nice. We were also leaning. We'll throw this out because we don't really love playing this guy because he's up and down. But Gobert rebounds, 12.5 rebounds. It's a pretty good spot. Sorry, this is on 0 days rest. Against the Portland team. What was eye-popping was just some recent centers against Portland. Jalen Duren, who I would put in the same category as Gobert, put up 22 rebounds. Jokic, who I would also, when he wants to rebound, Jokic is equivalent of a good rebounder as Gobert, right? If not better, on the offensive rebounding side. But when he puts the effort in, so he put up 22. So those are 2 really good comps. Other than that, though, there hasn't been a lot. Guys like Joe Val put up 9. I don't know. I think it's worth a pass, but it is going to be close. And this one also has the potential to blow out, and maybe Gobert doesn't get the minutes he needs. So at 10 rebounds, love them. Maybe throw that as part of a parlay. 12.5. We were struggling to put that one as an official one.
Yeah. Seems maybe a tad high just given the game script here. It could be a nice leg to a builder or something if you want to bring it down a bit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's wrap it up. We got the.
Oh wait! I got 2 more here.
You do? Oh,
I
you
do.
You just had 1 pick on this game. Okay, go ahead.
No. So I like Conley assists too. Is popping up big time in our model. 6.5 assists, -115 on DK. Over the last month, Portland has allowed the 2nd most assists per minute to point guards. Conley, there you go, has had 7+ assists in 5 straight games, averaging 8.5. He had 10 assists in that game against Portland on January 12th. That's not even factored into our last month rankings there. So a big game there that's not even included, and there's still 2nd most assists per minute. His last 2 games on a back-to-back this season, 10 assists and 8 assists.
Wow.
This is a nice matchup. We're all over Mike Conley today.
Look at those comps too. You got McCollum, who's not really a big assist guy, 4.5 line. He put up 7. Sasser, who we think is a pretty good comp, put up 11. Jamal Murray again, 10. Jamal Murray again,
similar
10.
lines, yeah, 6.
Yeah, I love that.
Great comp. Yeah,
great comp. Lillard, who is also probably in the same ballpark, put up 7. And then all these guys, Trey Jones, Van Vliet, 7, and even SGA put up 10. So I think that's a great play. I almost like the assists better than the points. So
all right,
but yeah, they
put them together. Let's go.
Yeah, put them together. All right,
one more.
What's your last one in this one?
Edwards rebounds over 4.5 rebounds, -135 on DK. He's got so they're on a back-to-back. Like I mentioned, his rebound hit rate on back-to-back since last season is 76%. Compare that to his points and assists, both at 47%. So something about rebounding on back-to-backs for Edwards here, that he's like much, much better hit rate. He's cleared this in 3 of his last 4 overall, averaging 7 rebounds per game over his last 4 games. And he gets a pretty good matchup. Combo guards against Portland, 9th most rebounds per minute over the last month. Jeremy Sohan had a 14 rebound game. Devin Booker 6, Kobe White 5, Alex Caruso 5. Another nice matchup. Could see a bunch of missed shots here on the Portland side that Edwards cleans up.
Yeah, I don't think this game is going to stay under 213 because of pace, right? I think this game will move pretty quickly. I just think the shooting percentage will be low, so that should lead to plenty of rebounding opportunities. So yeah, this is another way to approach the rebounding side. If you don't like Gobert at 12.5, then maybe Edwards at 4.5 could be nice.
We're getting a note on X here that says DraftKings is locking the picks 15 seconds after we call them out on the pod.
We have to talk to some people over at DraftKings. I would like to say that we are that influential. We're not there yet, but
no.
but certainly I appreciate the call out. Yeah, that's nice. All right, what else? Nothing else in this
That's
one, right?
it in this game. Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Pistons at the Lakers. Lakers are -10.5 at home. Total in this one 241.5. Let's just start it off. I'll give out this one. We're running back D'Lo. Back in November, we put out a post on X with this pick. I think D'Lo's points at that point were 14.5, if I recall. He's all the way up to 19.5. Point guards were absolutely demolishing Detroit at that point. I think it was like the number 1 matchup. So we ended up doing a D'Lo ladder at 15 points, 20 points, and I think 25 points. He ended up putting up 35 points in that game, right? He just and we also saw that he had a really good track record against Detroit. I just recall that game. He was just bombing threes away. I don't think he'll put up as big of a performance tonight. But I do think, I like the matchup. There's still, I think, top 7 matchup or top 5 matchup somewhere around there. Point guards against Detroit. And if you just look at his recency, I mean, 34 points, 27, 29, 28, 23. He had 3 down games against Atlanta, Boston, and New York. And then 28 and 30. So I think he's due for another big game. If you look at the last 5 at home as well, which is a subset of those games we just looked at, those are his last 5 at home as well. So I think 19.5 points is a really nice play. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on 25 as well, which is around like plus 230.
Nice.
See if he can deliver on the ladder for us twice this year.
That would be beautiful.
All right. What do you think?
So I liked Cade in this game. I think I like his points, 21.5 points. It was -113 on FanDuel. He's cleared this in 8 of his last 10 road games. Nice hit rate there. He's already got a pretty high usage rate. He's always around 30%. But I think with the departures of Bojan and Burks, it just opens up more offense for Cade to be responsible for. Also nice on 2 days rest, 5 of 6 this season on 2 days rest, averaging 27.3 points per game when he's on extra rest this season. Very, very nice. I think you're showing some last season there too. That's those reds at the end there. There we go. There's this season. Beautiful. And you can't get a better matchup. Lakers are allowing the most points per minute to wings over the last month. Now, if you don't look at Cade as a wing, even though that's where he's playing, they also allow the 7th most points per minute to point guards over the last month. Big games: Brandon Ingram 22 and 26, Dante DiVincenzo 26, Cam Thomas 33, Jalen Williams 25, 28, Devin Vassell 36. And then if you look on those are the wings. If you look on the point guards, Jamal Murray 29, Jalen Brunson 36, Trey 26, Steph 46, Luka 33.
Yeah,
great spot for Cade against the Lakers.
Yeah, it is always hard to classify Cade properly because I do think fits into any of those classifications, but the ball is in his hands, so he has the opportunity to shoot first. And I do think looking at point guard comps, even though that's not necessarily where he plays most of his minutes, I think that's a good way to look. So yeah, 21.5 seems great. It's interesting because he's kind of flipped his splits. He used to be a better home player, and now he's kind of delivering more on the road, like you said. So that's an exciting trend, and we'll see where he goes. I think it's a good one.
Yeah, the bright lights, playing in LA tonight. I think he's going to get up for this game.
All right, very nice.
Last pick, guy you mentioned, Jalen Duren, over 11.5 rebounds, minus 140 on DK, so a little pricey, but I think it's worth it. 7 of his last 10 overall, averaging over 14 rebounds per game over his last 10. Just look at his last 3 games: 18, 22, and 15. And nice comps. Jokic just had 13, Hartenstein 15, Capella 12. And if you look at some guys that are more like small fives, Zion had 9 on a line of 5.5. PJ Washington 8 on a line of 5.5. Sadiq Bey 8 on a line of 5.5. Jalen Johnson 11 on a line of 8.5. Draymond 14 on a line of 6.5, and Kuminga 9 on a line of 5.5. So great matchup here for bigs against the Lakers rebounding.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I guess my only concern, well, first of all, what did he put up? He had only 7 last time they played. My only concern it would be looking on PropSide Cash down at the fouls. He only had 3 fouls in that game, so that would be my concern with him guarding AD. Does he get into foul trouble? That could be that could potentially be an issue. So I don't know. It was a very different team back then. So minutes, and he only played 17 minutes in that game, right? So yeah, and he's probably playing. I didn't look, but he's probably playing closer to like 25 to 30 minutes now. So
you'd think, yeah. I mean, with the Bagley's gone, Bogdanovich is gone. His minutes are definitely up.
Yeah, no need to guess. Yeah, I mean, look at his last 3 games. So 37 minutes, 37 minutes, 35 minutes, and they're actually playing well. Evan Fournier. Am I saying it right? He's now on Detroit. I'm very curious to see how he does. He's been like sitting on a bench for 2 straight years. I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see what he does. So I could see him doing some stuff, right? We'll see.
Yeah, finally getting a chance to shoot the ball after 2 years.
But you won't see props on him for probably another week or 2, if ever again. But yeah, no, I love that now. I mean, played 17 minutes and he had 7 rebounds. So basically double that up. He would project for over 14 rebounds tonight. His line's only 11.5. So as long as he stays out of foul trouble, I think this one's a home run. So good find.
Nice. All right. I think that does it, right? You also have Isaiah Stewart still out, right? So I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for Duren here. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, all right. It does it.
Nice work. Went a little long for a 6-game slate, but not too many more of these pods over the next 2 weeks till post All-Star break. So got to get them in while we can. But thanks. Not too many questions today, but thanks for everyone for tuning in. And we'll get another pick up, and the rest of them will be up in the Discord. Everyone enjoy the games, and let's all make some money.